Well, traders, a very warm welcome. I am Devang Mehra from The Financial Analyst, and I welcome you all to our YouTube channel. So, in this video, we'll talk about a couple of very interesting things. To start with, we'll start off with why I took the BTST trade on Power Grid. At the same time, what am I going to do with Power Grid on Monday? And am I going to hold it longer? Also, I'm going to talk about some very interesting psychological issues and logical issues. So, it's going to be a whole new video of learnings that you can inculcate over the weekend and try to apply it from the market in the market over the next week. Because eventually, why do you come to our YouTube channel? It's because you want to make some money, you want to make some good passive income or good retail income from the market. So I hope these points that we're putting out for you will be knowledgeable. So make sure you hit that like button if you like such series. Click on that like button, subscribe, bell icon, and subscribe to our channels and comment below. Let's get started, guys. So first of all, let me show you what trade have I taken. So in our discussion forum, this is exclusive to our one-on-one mentorship clients. So I sent a message at 2:39 that Power Grid's given a weekly breakout. At the same time, please don't add any shorts in the market over the weekend. Market structure is good. It's a buy on dip market only. That's something we've been telling everyone in all our forums everywhere. At the same time, I said that I'm doing BTST in Power Grid around 2:42 p.m. Why did I say that? What's the logic behind the trade I took? At the same time, what's my expectations from it? So let's talk about all of that right now. So this is my position in Power Grid right now. I'm in a profit of about 12,800 by sitting over the weekend. I bought around 16,000 quantity. That's 4 lots of Power Grid at 4.55. So that's basically an investment of about roughly 70,000. So on a rough investment of 70,000, I've clocked in about roughly 18% return, and that's really good. That is really, really good. So let me show you why I took that trade first. That's the part one of this video. So I'm going to open the charts of Power Grid. So whenever I do my analysis, it's always about top down. And you heard me say this a lot, but I always do a top down approach. That means that I look at a bigger time frame. So for example, the daily chart. And in the daily chart, I saw that there's a very, very good, strong weekly breakout. We did halt somewhere around 200, 197 round numbers, but eventually today we broke this high. So this becomes invalid. And today we have a very good fresh breakout. Do I have a good volume? Yes, I have a good volume. So the breakout looks good. So that was one reason why I wanted to initiate a long trade in Power Grid so I can get a good boost of momentum tomorrow on Monday when I wake up. That's the point number one. Point number two, the structure, if you see on the chart, has been quite helpful. Let me go to the weekly charts and I think things will make more sense. The structure of Power Grid was quite in a big downtrend. You can see lower highs, lower lows being formed all this while. And finally, we had something called a double bottom breakout, which basically gave you a higher low and now a higher high. So it's like a trend being reversed. So this actually could be a very good positional trade, and probably you could hold for targets of 210 for short term. Maybe, and I will not be surprised if I achieve that target on Monday itself or maybe Tuesday, depending upon how the momentum of the market is. So that's the bigger time frame analysis that I've done. Shout out to Harsh. He's our senior mentor at TFA. He was the one who found out about this trade. He gave a buy call around 182 when the double bottom broke out. And today, again, we initiated another long trade in Power Grid so that we can get the good momentum. So the move has just happened. So if it opens flat on Monday, it could give a good momentum even for the people who are new, and they can get the momentum for a target of 210. That's a good 2-3% move left in Power Grid as of now. So that was the bigger time frame picture. Let's talk about the smaller time frame. What's the smaller time frame picture? And I've been telling you all about Dow theory, how you need to respect the trend. So what is the trend that you see in the market? The trend that we see in the market is bullish. If the trend is bullish, I cannot initiate shorts. Another reason why I know the trend is bullish is if you see the big momentum, the upward movement that's happening, the impulsive waves that are happening, you can see the amount of volumes going in. You can see a good momentum flowing into the stock. At the same time, when the correction is happening in the market, when the retracement is happening in the market, is there good volume? No, there's not good volume, which means that it's not a reversal, it's just a correction, just a small pullback. And you can see that you got a good hammer candlestick at these gap filling levels. That was one signal that on 7th of January, you could have taken a long again. Today, markets again opened flat. That's very ideal for a trader. gave you a good momentum because things are bullish. And yesterday on Friday around 12:30, markets again gave a dip. So do you sell over here? I mean, take a short over here? No, you don't. Yes, you got a bearish engulfing over here, but that doesn't mean you go short because the market structure is bullish. That's point number one. Point number two, when the markets went up, there was a good momentum in volume. When the markets went down, you can see there was a change in shift. There was no volume, which again shows that this is not a sustainable move. That's another point. So I was tracking the stock for the last 1.5 hours, and I was waiting for some kind of a signal to come in. And you can see that markets gave you an inside candle, gave a good breakdown, and from that point forward, you were getting good shooting star kind of patterns. And basically around this time, around 2 o'clock in the markets, we got two consecutive hammers, which were showing rejections coming in from lower levels. That's point number one. And these rejections were exactly coming in from the place of retest of the previous breakout. Right over here, we saw good resistance, and the resistance being retested, you were getting two hammers over here. That is the point of time. So around 140, if you saw that screenshot, this is the time where I said I want to go long in power grid and I want to do a BTST in power trade. The reason was it was a very good retest. That's number one. The volumes were emerging when the hammer was formed. That's point number two. At this point of time, my stop loss would be just 1 rupee, just below this hammer. That's a point number three. The point number four is when the momentum happened in the last 30 minutes of the trade, you can see the good amount of volume creeping in into the stock. That shows how much inflow is happening in the market. So if inflow is happening in the market and that surge in volume in the last couple hours, this shows that markets are poised to open higher on Monday as well. So that's the reason. That's why we took the trade at 4.55, and now it gave a very good momentum, gave a high of 5.8, but currently because of the averaging out of the index in the last 15 minutes is around 5.35. So we clocked in about 18 to 20% profits in the market on Friday just by doing nothing, by very simple trade. And this is one setup, breakout retest, which is basic technical analysis 101. So I hope you understood why I did that trade. Another reason is, guys, why don't you go? So a lot of people go wrong in the markets by going short over here. Let me explain something very simple, guys. FIIs have put in record inflows. About 1.65 lakhs have been put into the equity markets, the emerging markets in India. If you look at the data, uh, every other emerging market has seen outflow. It's only India that's seen about 1.5, 1.6, a lakh of positions coming in into equity segment in India. At the same time, even yesterday, FI put in about 6,000 crores of money into the markets. Yes, that was due to the China blip, but they are putting in 6,000 crores. They're coming back with the positions. So you are a person who wants to spend only 75,000 or 1 lakh of money. You want to go short in the market. You are actually betting against 6,000 crores. Do you think you will sustain? It's very simple. A lot of people are taking unreasonable shots in the market. So personally, a lot of people ask me, why don't we? So I read one comment earlier on my previous video when I clocked in about a 1 lakh profit on Thursday. And a lot of people said that, you don't give on Telegram BTST calls. That's because, it's my responsibility as a mentor to guide you in the proper way. So I personally took a short BTST over here. I suffered a 40K loss on Friday. So if I gave you every BTST call I trade, I don't want you to go in a 40K loss every single day. So I admitted I took a 40K loss on Friday, but just because I did a very poor mistake, I violated my own rule. I thought markets, are quite extended. They might break down, and they could, but markets, I really violated my own rule. Markets are bullish, but I didn't see that again. So, just a very simple piece of advice, guys. The structure of the market is intact. If you see this area, you can see a very simple trend line being, coming here. The structure of the market is intact. Don't question the market. Don't say markets have high PE ratio, because they don't right now. It's going to get adjusted when the earnings come out. And very simple also piece of thing, that TCS posted extraordinary results. That's the highest, I think, in 9 years. So that's again going to drive the markets higher. That's given you a very good momentum. It's given you signs that things are recovering in India, and the markets, that the companies are looking very strong. That's going to give another momentum. I'm expecting markets to open around 14,500, or they will touch this level even on Monday. So please don't question the market again and again and say, markets are looking extended, because they are not. They look okay. They look okay, and you have to continue with the momentum. When can I short in the market? I will short in the market only when this trend is broken. When the trend is intact, I'll be okay. But when the trend is going to be broken, I'll take a short in the market. But not yet. Not yet. Till then, you continue. Price comes here, you buy. Again goes up. Price comes here, you buy. Again goes up. That's the strategy that you have to adopt in the market. Another reason, why did I go short in the market? Correct. Let's talk about that. And also, I sent a message on our Telegram that I will not be trading on Friday. Why is that? Let me talk about some psychological and logical issues. What happens when you make a very big profit or a very big loss? Please remember these points, because this will make you a good trader. If you're liking what I'm trying to say, hit the like button, guys, and mention in the comment section. I would love to read what you have to say, and put a hashtag TFA family. That's going to mean a lot. So understand one thing. Um, whenever you make a good profit or a good loss, a very big number. So I made on Thursday, I made about 1.2 lakh in profit. Always remember, when you make such abnormal profit according to your position sizing, always take the next day off, whether it's a profit or whether it's a loss. Why is that? You know what happens? A lot of people, when I see this number, compared to 1.2 lakh profit, it's nothing. It's hardly anything, correct? It's literally just 1/10 of that. But I want to ask you something very, very honestly. Do you think it's a small amount? On a 75K investment, do you think it's a small amount? It's not. Your saving banks are giving you about 4% interest right now. The rate cycle is very low. Everyone knows that. Your RDs give you about 5% for 10 years. Your FDs are giving you about 6% or 5% if you're lucky enough. Your private bank FD is giving you about 7 to 8%. Your NCDs debentures 6-7%. The rate cycles are low. You're getting that much amount in 1 year. I am getting that much amount in just one single day. And not even one day, guys. I took the position at 3 o'clock, correct? And I basically took a BTST. What is BTST? BTST basically means you are getting paid to what? To basically sleep. I took a position at 3 o'clock, and markets are paying you to sleep and wake up next day and give you money. That's the best job ever, guys, when you think about it. If markets are paying you to sleep. So if you are making 20% ROCE, return on capital employed, by just sleeping, that's one signal, guys. Take it. Your day is done. Your day is done. On a 75K capital, 20% ROC, get out of the market. Don't be greedy. We can enter again. Think about this. Guys, 3 days consecutively, if we do 12,800, you get an iPhone. That's a new iPhone coming in, and that's not even the job of half the people in the world. So what I'm trying to say is, guys, you have to know when to stop. It's important. I could be greedy right now, but you have to respect money, and that you will learn over the course of time. When you see money, when you're earning a lot of money and money is going out of your hands, you will learn these things. I've learned those things. I've made 2 lakhs of profits, but that has turned into losses by the end of the day, because I've not respected money. I think things are very, very simple. When you're coming into the market, see, market is a well, and it can drown you. It's addicting. It's addicting. But you have to know when to stop. You have to know when to stop, because if you're getting a good amount of money, try to pull yourself out. And the best thing to do that is stop your trading day. Delete the application. How did I stop? How do I stop? That's another thing, because let's say I clock in about 20K. I'm expecting it to open around 6.5 on Monday. Let's say I clock in about 20K profits. The best thing would be delete your application for 1 hour. That's the best thing, because if you don't do that, if you don't stop doing that, you will look at all these numbers, and as I'm telling you, it's going to be 100 points up Nifty. You'll see everything 1% up to 2% up. You'll be greedy, and you will enter the market at the wrong time, where you think it's accumulation, but it's actually distribution. That's a psychological issue you have to combat. So just to recap what I've been saying, if you are getting good money, a good ROC, guys, stop trading. You don't have to make 1 lakh every single day. Have respect for the money that you're putting into the markets. If you make consistent money every day, that's what's going to matter. And I will respect that, and you will respect that. Number 2, I told you very well that I will not take part in the markets on Friday. What was the reason behind that? Something very, very important. So if you look at this is about being disciplined. It's about sheer discipline, not taking part in rallies which you think are not important. For example, another very important thing, guys, you don't have to participate in the market every day for every 6 hours. If you want to participate every day, put just 1 hour into the markets. That is what's really important. So for example, if you look at this area over there, that's a very, very strong resistance. Currently the price was, was around this price. So when I was analyzing the markets, let's talk about the markets. I'm going to back test something out for you. This is what the markets looked like on the expiry day. Obviously, by looking at this chart, things are not looking very strong. And the resistance was at 14,240. The support was coming over here. So the ideal scenario would be to go short in the market. Why? Because markets can open flat and in the very first minute they can go down. That's the reason why I took a short. I wanted to take a risk. Yes, I violated my rules, but that is the reason why I wanted to go short. Why didn't I want to go long in the market? That's the second question. The reason was because markets to go long, they would have to first travel 1% higher and then again give another move of breakout of 1%. For me, that was illogical. And that's the reason why I said I will not take part in the markets, because I'm not really looking at a breakout. Now, see what was the interesting thing that happened. Markets opened only above our zone. And I still didn't want to take part, and I didn't. I booked my BTST loss about 40K and I didn't take part in the rally. Why? I didn't find it convincing. I would have found it convincing when, if the markets at this point of time, they would have gone up on Friday here and on Monday, they would have broken out. That's where I would have taken part in the rally. See the example of Bank Nifty. In Bank Nifty, a very, very small and tight range. So Bank Nifty looks much more interesting to me as Nifty. So for example, if Bank Nifty wants to go up, it can just open around here, consolidate and break out. That looks like a much more convincing trade I can take, rather than a trade opening 1%, 2% higher and then going up. So you all have to know when you want to trade and when you don't want to trade. That I feel is very, very important. So it's about discipline, guys. And if you think, the charts are not, as I said, it's not everyday trading you have to do. If you are trading good, trade for 3 days a week. That's all. You make 30, 40K on a 1 lakh capital. It's enough. It's enough. That turns up to 1.2 lakh in a month. I think that's more than enough by just sitting idle and doing that. It's a difficult job, by the way. Trading is a stressful job. It's a difficult job. So try to respect that. And I just want to tell you one more thing before I wind up for the day. Just wanted to give you these psychological points. I want to give you my point of view when I take a trade. I hope you're liking that. So let me know in the comments. Let me know by liking this video and sharing it with your friends if you find that helpful. Another very important thing is, a lot of people don't understand the difference between psychology and logic. So I was very honored. I would say I was very fortunate to go to Harvard University in 2013. I went there for a summer and I studied macroeconomics and psychology. And back in those days, I really didn't understand the importance of psychology. But now when I come in the markets trading every single day, that's where exactly the psychology plays, because markets are about emotions, fear and greed, and that's nothing but psychology. But there is a thin, fine line between psychology and logic. That's something you have to understand. So all of you watching the video, you all have been on YouTube way longer than I have been, right? I've been on YouTube for the last 1 year only and been active in this month. But a lot of people, keep talking about that you have psychological problems, you need to improve your psychology. But a lot of you already watching a video know this, that it's not about psychology. You might be really disciplined, but you will still not make money. Do you think it's psychology? Think about it. Do you think if you are very disciplined, like, I'm telling you, I won't take a trade here, I won't take a trade there, but you still make a loss, it's not about psychology. It's something to do with logic. Let me explain that to you. Over trading is psychology, meaning I see that it's in 12,800 profit. On Monday, I get a 20,000 profit. I still sit idle. I see markets are tumbling, but I still have that thought in my mind that markets will reverse, give me money. That is psychology. If you think you want to make 1 lakh every single day, you overtrade, put in, hundreds of orders, 50s of orders, you get smashed by the brokers on brokerage and the tax, but you don't end up making money. You basically end up losing what you want. That's psychology. How do you stop psychology? So I'm gonna refer to a very known market psychologist. He gave a very simple example. So one of the biggest problems is overeating. Everyone knows about that, right? Overeating is not good. I'm going to make things lighter. It's not about the market. It's about, adding real life examples. So let's say you, every single night, you have dinner at 8 o'clock. right? Let me give you an example. And somewhere around 10 o'clock, you feel hungry. Why? Because you're watching Netflix. It's a very interesting film. You want to have popcorn. You want to have some chips. You want to have some biscuits. You want to have something to munch on, right? And you do that every day at 10 o'clock. And that's not really healthy. Everyone knows that. If you are concerned about your health, that's not healthy. So how can I stop overeating? You can basically, that's a psychological issue. You can basically, put more time in, just to give you a very small example, you can move to more ambient environments. You can involve yourself in activities which forget you about eating, right? You could like play a game, which, for example, you could play your PlayStations. Your hands are busy, and you can't eat at the same time. All these things could be possible. Basically, you have to overwhelm your mind by doing something more, respectful rather than eating. Just a very vivid example, but this is to do with psychology. The same thing applies with your positions. If you have a 20K profit and you know that you are going to overtrade because you want to make 50K, you want to make that 1 lakh, that is psychology. So what you could do is you could basically involve yourself in some other activities. You could delete your application for 1 hour and come back to the markets after 1 hour when you have a peace of mind. Same thing applies with revenge trading. Let's say I made a 40K loss on so I made a 40K loss on Friday at 9:15 a.m. sharp. And I could have overtraded, kept on doing, but I didn't. I took a 4 hour break. As I said, I won't trade. I took a 4 hour break, came to the markets at 2 o'clock, and I saw that, Power gave a good opportunity. Bank Nifty gave a good shot. I did that, made some money out of it. So I reduced my loss. I didn't want to make that loss 1 lakh profit, but from 40K, I came out to 10K loss. That's about being, psychologically balanced. And that's what you have to learn. The second issue is logic. That's the biggest problem people have right now. I had this problem for a very, very long time. What is logical problems? I'll explain something very simple. Let me give you a very, very simple example. Implied volatility. What's that? India VIX. India VIX is nothing but the implied volatility. S&P 500 VIX. Now think about that very simple. So Nifty, for example, your Nifty is giving you a breakout. So you as a trader, if you are not self-aware, so I'm going to talk about self-awareness. If you get a breakout on Nifty, what will an average trader do? He will buy the market. He will buy call options. He will sell put options, depending on how you look at the things. So you will buy the market. At the same time, you are not self-aware. You might be psychologically really good. You might be, having a good position size. Everything is, like a cherry on the top. You have balanced your capital. You took a very good entry on one of the best patterns. You had the best strategy deployed into the market, but you still lose money. Why? Your premiums decay when you traded options. Why is that? Because you were not self-aware of a concept called India VIX or volatility index. Very small example is, let's say the markets are breaking out and your India VIX, the implied volatility is down 6%. Do you think you can make the same money on the breakout if the markets were breaking out and the VIX would be up 5%? It would be a fully different scenario. If VIX is down 6% and VIX is up 5%, things would be entirely difficult. In such a case, you would have made less money because things are not expected to move a lot. And in such case, you would have made more money because the markets are expected to be more volatile. So this has got nothing to do with psychology. You are fully disciplined, deploying the best strategy. But this has got to do something with logic, about self-awareness. So what you have to do is spend time in understanding the market. It's, trading is not about coming every single day on a chart, opening 15-minute chart of Nifty and finding breakouts and trading. It's not about that. It's about looking at the overall picture of the world economy. Look at what the American markets are doing. Look at what the UK markets are doing. Look at Germany. Look at dollar. Look at commodities. Look at, what is Bitcoin doing? All the other things. That is what is going to make a difference in your trading style. Rather than opening the chart of Nifty every single day and finding 15-minute breakouts. So for example, you want to buy Nifty above these levels. That's not going to make much more sense, because if you don't know what the other assets are doing, if you don't know what are the other developments happening in the countries, you're not going to make much money. Because eventually, what is Nifty? Nifty is what people are forecasting for the future. Markets are a leading indicator. It's not what's happening right now. It's about what people are forecasting for the future. So I hope these couple of points have made sense. I hope you like these points. If you do, let me know in the comment section. I wanted to make it a raw video, just some perspectives that I have gathered on in my trading journey. and as a full-time trader. So let me know in the comments, guys. Leave it a like, and we'll come up with a brand new video tomorrow to help you out in your markets. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.